Hey everyone, I'm Ultima456, you're the Ultimates, and welcome to episode 17 of Let's Platinum Resident Evil 3 Remake. Alright, let's finish this. And try and increase the volume a little bit.
Oh
no. You're not going to stop. Promised you this, didn't I?
No! Do you have any idea what you've just done?
Oh no, don't care. My client ordered me to reduce Umbrella to rubble.
10 minutes until missile impact.
The missile has launched. And that is my cue. Goodbye, Miss Valentine. Shame you didn't listen to me when you had the
It's you! Shoot him!
I can't! I'll hit you!
Do it! You have to! There's no other way.
I don't even think you have to shoot, but I'll do it.
Hey, I told you I couldn't leave you in a Carlos's world. That would just be too cruel. What about him?
Why'd you do it?
There's a price tag for everything. Even letting the world burn.
Who are you working for?
I'll tell you, if you get me out of here. I'll pay you whatever you want. You're a fool. You're a fool! If I die, you'll never find out the truth.
I don't mind a little detective work.
I have to quickly say that fight between Nikolai and Carlos was really well motion captured. It was
You alright?
really, really good.
There he is.
It's finally over.
So long, Marcy.
I felt empty and cold as the heat from the blast washed over us. All this death wasn't caused by a monster making a virus. It was greed. Human greed. I decided then and there, the ashes of Raccoon City would be Umbrella's ashes too. I would end them, once and for all.
Alright. So, okay, so we've got the, I thought the credits was actually after. There are still a few more scenes to go through, but I guess I'll talk about the game here a little bit while we wait for these credits to go by. I don't know if we'll go through all of them. I'm just going to lower the sound a teensy bit. There we go. Okay, so, yeah, Resident Evil 3 Remake. It's quite different to Resident Evil 2's remake. They really went for like it's got a similar vibe. You know, there's a lot of similarities between the two games. I actually I pulled out Resident Evil 2 the other day just to look at the disc, and if you compare the actual discs of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, the logo is almost exactly the same. Resident Evil 2's logo is actually, it's just got like a few more cracks on it for some reason, but the discs are like basically identical. So I like the similarities that they've put between those two. And in terms of its quality, I've been saying in a few comments here and there that the game is really growing on me. After having played it like multiple times, for some reason, like I actually really like it. I thought I'm still disappointed by the fact that it's short, but overall it's still fun to play, and I guess that's pretty much the most important thing. After like sitting down and playing it for the channel and watching the story unfold, like I still think it's a pretty good story, and it's all fairly, you know, manageable to understand and all that kind of stuff. So that's really good. I think probably the only thing, I'm not big on, like, I'm not really like a money kind of guy. Like I don't consider myself greedy or that I want to earn like a lot of money in the future. But the only thing I can really say that makes it a little, how can I put it? Like, it's one of the frustrations is if it was a bit cheaper, I think then it would be very much worth it. I think that was a lot of the arguments. It's like, well, you're still selling like a full price game and you're only getting like, you know, essentially half a game or whatever. At least like with Resident Evil 2, there was, it just felt like it was much longer. Here you also only have like the only Jill to play with, whereas in Resident Evil 2 you had Leon and Claire. So, and they just like really went all out with that. It's not the biggest deal in the world, but because the game is still fun. But yeah, that is definitely one of the downsides to it. And I guess in terms of the actual zombies themselves, in Resident Evil 2 you could what was it? You could like dismember the zombies, so you could shoot off their limbs. You can do that here as well, but it's just not as consistent. It doesn't happen frequently enough, and on top of that, it's nowhere near as valuable as it was in Resident Evil 2. So that's kind of another downside to it. And yeah, I mean, I think that's pretty much all I've got to say on the game. I still enjoyed it. Someone asked me the other day what my favorite Resident Evil was, and I honestly can't pick between like the Resident Evil 1 remake remaster, Resident Evil 2 remake, and Resident Evil 7. I haven't played 4, which I intend on playing at some point. I played 5, but it was many years ago, but I did really like that one. And now that I've played 3, I haven't played 6 either. But now that I've played 3 as well, like I do like 1, 2, and 7 the most. But this one, I don't know. There's something about it that I still really like. Okay, I think I'll leave it there because I can't really. I'm trying to think of like what else to say, and nothing else is coming to my mind. But apart from that, it's good. All right, let's see if I can just skip this one. Okay, so we see Jill grab the destroyed thing. Here you go, got results. Okay, veteran. I got a C rank, that's fine. I think, yeah, survivor. I think veteran is for completing it on hardcore at least, and survivor's for completing it on standard. The total playtime, that's just like how long, the game actually tracks how long you've kept like the game running, and then the clear time is like your actual play time. So 4 hours, 17 minutes, 50 seconds. We saved 14 times and died 6 times. It's not bad actually. All right, so let's continue through that. I thought this was going to be much longer, but looks like it's only 10 minutes. That's annoying. Alright, so yeah, we didn't see this, but when you boot up the game the first time, you don't see this, but on subsequent boots, you get this awesome screen. Alright, let's have a look at the completed challenges. So Nemesis down with 3 exclamation marks, that's the last one. Bookworm for all the files. Escape P, I think that's for completing it on assisted mode. Survivor is standard mode and veteran is hardcore mode. And as you can see there under veteran, it says game mode, nightmare mode at the very bottom. So that means we've unlocked that difficulty. The shop has been unlocked. You can now purchase items from the shop, which is accessible via the main menu. Points used to unlock items can be earned by completing in-game challenges. View them in the record screen. So that's really cool. So that's one kind of thing they did that I don't think they really did in Resident Evil 2. So you can see the different degrees of points that you can earn. Let's go over these records since we have some time. So defeat 80 enemies with a handgun, that's 49 out of 80. 200 enemies with a handgun, 130 with shotgun, 80 and 120 with grenade launcher, 20 enemies with mag, 80 enemies with mag, assault rifle, 200 and 400, 400 in total. 800 in total, 1100, 1400, 2000. So, you're going to have to play quite a few times to get these. Defeat 2 enemies with a single shot. Luckily, I got that. Hats off. Knock the hats off of 28 zombies. Oh, yeah, I was saying, like, doff of the cap or whatever. That's from Resident Evil 2. I was actually playing it the other day, and I was like, oh, that's where I was noticing that. Collect all weapons in the campaign. We did that. Collect all weapon parts. Goddamn Nathaniel Bard. And Bookworm. Goodbye Charlie for all the Charlie dolls. Unlock all the safes, lockers, strong boxes, and pickable locks, which is good there. Complete the game in assisted or higher, Escape P, Survivor, standard or higher, and hardcore mode or higher for Nightmare. And Conqueror, I guess that's for completing on Nightmare. Dominator for completing on Inferno. And then you can get your S ranks on various things, stars material, and yeah, and then complete it without opening the item box. 1 or fewer recovery items and 2 hours of play. So we're gonna have to like do some more records, obviously, because we have to get more of the trophies. But we got quite a decent portion of them done. Plus, we unlocked Nightmare mode. Let's have a look at the shop. So I have 14,560 points. I can unlock Jill's costume, and you know what? I may as well just go ahead and do that. So that way, when we play again, we can play with a different costume. Purchase complete. Costumes can be changed via the main menu or pause menu. Here are some items that you can get. So recovery coin. I think these were in Resident Evil 7. So gradually regenerate health when held. Carry 2 to increase the effect. So this just makes the game even easier. Iron defense greatly increases your defense when held. You can get 2 of them. Assault coin greatly increases your attack power when held. Crafting companion. While held, increases the amount of ammo gained when crafting. Okay. Ah, I get it. This is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, because I was watching, I think I said this already, but I watched the original, like I watched the full playthrough, I think it was 8 hours long, of Resident Evil 3 by Maximilian Dude a few, like maybe a month and a few weeks ago or something like that. And I think like this crafting companion, it's this like little, I guess this is like what they were going for, but it's like a little image of this in your inventory in the original Resident Evil 3, and you have to like put the gunpowder like in this thing, and then it creates the ammo, and I guess that's probably what it is. Yeah, that's cool. The STARS Field Combat Manual. So this is an interesting one. A manual of compiled STARS close range combat knowledge, edited by Chris Redfield. While held, physical feats such as perfect dodge become easier to perform. So, edited by Chris Redfield. So yeah, so your perfect dodge, I guess you get more frames to do it, is how I would assume that would be coded into the game. Lockpick, you just get the lockpick, I think, as like a starting item. Bolt cutters as well. Hip pouch, a small belted pouch good for carrying more items, will be placed in the game when purchased. Will not be available in assisted mode, as this would exceed the maximum inventory capacity, and you can get 2 of those. The Hot Dogger, as its name implies, this Umbrella-developed anti-bioweapon knife is used by those who like to show off. The blade can be superheated, causing the target to burst into flames. That's cool. Samurai Edge, 15-shot, capacity 9mm handgun. It's been customized according to Jill's personal specifications. Excellent across the board with exceptional accuracy and firepower, so that's another cool one. Raiden, an energy weapon developed by Umbrella based on airborne electrical phenomena. It possesses great stopping power, but only when targeting enemies' weak points. I wonder if this is a reference, like, because Capcom made Street Fighter, and Raiden is in Mortal Kombat, and I guess like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat are two of the biggest fighting games, and so this is kind of like a reference to Raiden, I guess. Infinite MUP handgun, a very well balanced 16-shot 9mm handgun. Its pinpoint accuracy has led to its adoption by countless militaries. The Infinite CQBR, I still haven't looked up what that is. A 5.56 by 45mm assault rifle optimized by the UBCS for this operation. Its short length affords great mobility even in urban settings. That's a really expensive one. Look at that, 28,400. And then finally, the Infinite Rocket Launcher, a recoilless rocket launcher that fires 84mm projectiles. The piercing power of the rocket causes more damage than the explosion. Damn. Alright, that's very interesting. Alright, so there you go. So that's all the stuff in the shop. I'm not going to buy anything else. The only thing I really want is the costume, so that we can have a different costume when we play. I don't want to use any of these because I think for me the goal is like to get through with your base stuff, because obviously, you know, having like, I mean, you can't really, well, like at the very least maybe some of these guns that I can afford, which I would only be able to afford like 2 of them maybe. Can't afford, nah, even the 2 cheapest ones here I couldn't afford both. I'd have to pick. Like I could get that, but there's just no reason. I'm going to use the stuff in the game, and we're going to work out a method of getting through that way, so that if people want to just get through like with using this stuff, that, you know, it's like not going to be that difficult to get through with the Infinite Rocket Launcher. But I'm curious to test it out. As of recording, I haven't even tried Nightmare Mode, but I'll get it at some point. And yeah, so models and concept art, which is really cool, and we've already looked at the records. Alright, so a little on the short side for this episode, just by a few minutes. I know we didn't really do much, but next time we're going to jump into the story. Let's quickly go over this actually. Costumes has been added. Use this option to change characters' outfits. So again, another thing that's really done, like Jill, you can change it into her costume. Carlos, he literally doesn't have any other costume changes, just default, which is really silly. You might be able to unlock some more, or like DLC might be coming or whatever, but yeah, that's kind of annoying. And you have this results screen as well, so you can see. Okay, yeah, so next time we're going to go start a new game from the very beginning, and you go Nightmare. For hardcore fans of the series, enemies behave more aggressively, enemy attacks are much stronger, and enemies and items appear in different locations. So yeah, they're going to like remix things. It's kind of like the B scenarios in Resident Evil 2 Remake. So they're going to remix things. Things are going to be in different places. You're going to get guns earlier than you normally would, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll see how that pans out when I actually do it. But I guess for now, I want to thank you all for watching episode 17 of Let's Platinum Resident Evil 3 Remake. My name's Ultima456. You're the Ultimates, and I'll see you next time.